Abigail was a delicious poison, an intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie!
What's up, everybody? We are back for another episode of Abby's Window, and yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Some things that were planned and some things that were kind of discussed within the last few hours. We'll get to those things shortly, but let me bring everyone on screen. Hello, Nicole. How are you?
Good, Jeff. Thank you for having me as always.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And we've got Chris and Jodie. How are you folks doing?
What's up, everybody?
Good.
Good. And then we always have the crew that's out there in the land of the chats. All of you for joining us. Thank you all so much for tuning in like you do every single week. And what do you say we get into it, because I feel like we have a lot to discuss.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so Jodie, where are we going first?
We can do a quick update on Caleb's corner.
Okay.
Nothing super new. He is on vacation with his family at the moment. I have no idea where, but it looks nice. In the mountains somewhere. But Celebrating Meatloaf did post an updated list of their tour dates. As you can see there. So, September, October, if you're anywhere nearby these, make sure you go and check them out, because the Celebrating Meatloaf show is fantastic. Caleb does such an amazing job. They all do an amazing job, but looks like they're going to be pretty busy. And then I would assume starting in November, Caleb will be going back on tour with Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I love that band.
Yeah, still waiting for Caleb to release some of his U.S. dates. He doesn't have a ton of I think he's only got one coming up that's actually his band. But he should be releasing some. He did mention that he was coming to Ohio in the fall. So yeah, make sure you go check out Celebrating Meatloaf if they're anywhere near you. We'll keep you updated as always on the socials about new tour dates that get added. And spoke to his mom, and I think it was his mom. Anyway, should be nailing down a date after the July 4th holiday for him to come on here and have a chat with us.
There you go.
Sounds like fun.
Thank you for the updates. And because I'm sometimes not very good at my job, I didn't do a proper reveal. I know Jodie teased showing off a new look on social media, so I did not do proper setting up that reveal. So Jodie, I'm gonna take this off screen now and put you back up there. So here we go.
Yep, I had brown hair, and now I have pink and purple hair. So
I told her earlier, it looks like a professional did it. It's beautifully done.
Thank you. I did it myself. I bleached it last night, so it was pretty blonde last night, and then did the pink and the purple this morning when I got up. So
sweet.
Now I've seen some compliments in the chat already, Jodie. So other folks are digging the hair. So
I like doing fun colors. It's
good on you.
I might do this combination of color next time, and then the same color that I used for these two, they make a blue one that's like light blue and dark blue. So I might
like an ombre almost.
Yep.
So I've actually got a question for Chris, because a lot of guys don't do this, and I'm just interested and curious. Chris, would you ever get festive and dye your beard like for the holidays or something? Yeah, Me.
Not a chance. I've seen like guys put like decorations in it for Christmas stuff. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Not for me.
Yeah, I'm there with you. There's a
The only
I'm
dyeing you would do is to get some of the grays
I
out.
keep saying I want to get rid of this gray, but she likes it, so.
My boyfriend would agree when it comes to the decorations. Like he's very old school too. So
Unless you were like dressed up for Halloween or something.
Yeah.
yeah, that's different. Like last year, my boyfriend dressed up as Jack Skellington. I just painted his beard white.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't going to shave it off to look like he
Yeah.
likes his beard, and so do I. So
Yeah,
he's
not
respect the
allowed
beard.
to do that. Yeah, he's not allowed to shave.
Yeah, I always say respect the beard.
Yep.
Yep.
I feel like, with beards, there are some certain things you just don't do, and hanging garland and different things in your beard.
I never understood that.
Yeah, me either.
I think it looks really weird.
I mean, whatever floats your rubber ducky. That's what
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess we won't knock folks that do it. So if you have a Christmas tree themed beard, that's up to you. But just know that you've got two people on this stream right now that would not be joining you in the festivities.
I wonder if Elisha would. He probably would.
I think he has before.
Yeah. One of our pastors at church, he can get very eccentric with his.
He loves his costumes
and stuff. So
Gets into the holiday spirit.
Yeah. He does. One year he had a lime green suit on that had Christmas lights all over it.
I know he painted his white one year when he dressed up like Santa Claus.
He did. Yeah. So, if anybody that I know would do it, it would be Elisha. So.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Deanna brings up a good point with the kids. She says if your kids did it, you would like it for the moment, for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't imagine Logan putting ornaments in your beard, though. He's a little old for that, I guess.
Well, let's chat about some updates here with Bray, and I guess we can start here.
Yeah.
Yes, I need that. That looks so comfortable just looking at it.
It looks so cozy.
And I'm a big fan of plush blankets. I desperately need that.
It looks a lot more cozy than the other Fiend blanket that we have.
Yeah, that one's not too great.
That one's more of a
and I have the other Fiend blanket
I
right
do
on the
too.
bed. And it's more rough material. You know what I'm saying?
More barn
here.
blanket. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But see, that looks like something you could just wrap your whole body up like a cocoon and just fall asleep in it.
And you know how
like SpongeBob says, I need it.
Like for me, blankets are like my version of women buying shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't buy a lot of shoes, but I buy a lot.
Me neither. No.
Blankets and sweatshirts.
Yes.
She has more sweatshirts than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they just happened to release that the day before Money in the Bank. I guess re-release it because we have seen it before.
I have seen it before. I've seen it. I think I've seen it on Amazon too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back in 2001 or 2021. I mean.
Yep.
So yeah, that was interesting.
Very exciting.
Released that the day before Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that because and I've got to shout this out too. We've got to plug this. So Jodie, take it away because you've released your series of videos here. So I'll let you talk about what you're doing there and how folks can find it.
Major props to you, Jeff, for this graphic. By the way, I love it. I love the Fiend in the teacup. It's awesome. So yeah, since Money in the Bank was in London. That's kind of how I came up, and I'm British. I came up with, tea time. And I just, I wanted to try to keep some content coming on the channel. And there's been a lot of times that something's happened with Bray and I'm like, oh, I wish I could make a video about that. So now I can. So we did start that. I forget what our first one was about. I don't know.
The game.
Oh, the game. Yeah. So we talked about the game a little bit, and then we did Money in the Bank predictions. And then the most recent one we did was the Fiend being mentioned on Money in the Bank. So,
yes.
Yeah, let's talk
It's
about
It's
that.
not going to be an everyday thing, but because it takes a long time. I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to editing. So, like the one I did about the Fiend being mentioned took me like 6 hours.
Oh,
And Chris kept saying, "You really don't need to get that detailed, babe. Just put some slides, just put some pictures in there and go with it." So,
yeah.
so yeah, it probably won't be an everyday thing, especially once I start going back to work. But definitely, a few times a week.
So yeah, check those videos out. They are on the channel right now. There is actually a playlist on the channel as well called Tea Time with Abby. So go to that playlist. All of the videos in this series will be in that playlist. So go check it out. Rewatch it thousands of times. Pick up on some different clues every time. But yeah, check that out. And also, Joe has his wrestling ramblings that will be on the channel as well. That has its own playlist, and maybe, just maybe, I'll do more videos. It depends.
You should, because I really, really enjoyed your Money in the Bank review.
Well, I
Yes.
appreciate that.
And if Dom were here, he would say, something about your smooth, suave voice.
Well, yeah, that I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable now thinking about some of
Oh
those
God, see what you did.
previous comments.
Yeah,
shout,
we need to
Dom
laugh,
couldn't
guys.
be with us today. I had to squeeze him in there somehow.
yeah, shout out to Dom. For those of you who didn't get to see, go check out social media. Dom did some interviews with some superstars at Money in the Bank.
Cool. You interviewed a lot of these superstars.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah. So check that out, Dom. Dom's the
Yeah,
man.
and C Wrestling had the time of his life too, because he went to Money in the Bank, and he said he
Just
had a
physically being at the event must be a completely different feel. It must be.
I don't know. I've never been to a pay-per-view. You have.
I've been to a couple. It's amazing.
Which ones have you been to, Chris?
It's a completely different feel. Like it's just. No. Go ahead.
I went to Great American Bash in 2006. That was here in
Oh
Indianapolis.
wow,
that's awesome.
And I went to SummerSlam 2008. That was here in Indianapolis.
Awesome.
Nice.
Two really good ones to go to.
And we've been watching old WrestleManias all day.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
They started it. She's never seen anything really pre-Bray. That's when she got into wrestling. So I'm educating her on all the fantastic things that happened before Bray.
Yes.
And it's cool to see, even rewatching a lot of stuff myself. I've noticed a lot of little things here and there that, like, Bray probably drew some inspiration from it, like Mankind. He definitely drew some inspiration from Mankind. Kane with the Red Lightning, I think, probably inspired him some with the Fiend and stuff. So it's cool to go back and see things that little tributes he probably paid to people he respected.
Yes,
for sure. And Hanzo went to Money in the Bank as well.
Yeah, Hanzo. Shout out to Hanzo. Yeah, shout out to Hanzo.
I think I saw a picture of Hanzo and Dom taking a photo together. I think I saw that. That was pretty cool.
And you know what? The UK fans are on another level. That was
amazing.
The most pay-per-view I've ever seen.
Hands down.
Amazing.
WrestleMania.
I really pray that they
should take place
in London. Yeah. Because I think Danny, my boyfriend, was like, we need to go to London when WrestleMania takes place in London. We need to go.
Oh, we're going.
Yeah.
I would love to go.
Yep.
WrestleMania needs to happen there for sure.
Yep, for sure.
Exactly. That crowd was beautiful from beginning to end.
And we talked about that too. Like, I think, because we're born and bred on football, it feels to be that loud and obnoxious, and I mean that in a good way. It feels natural for us.
Yeah, that's just what they do at any kind of a big event like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that's
England knows how to put up a party.
They do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I was telling her during that, I wish that we were fans here in America were more like that. I've never been to any WWE event that had fans like that at it.
Full of energy from the beginning of the show to the end of the night. There was not one part of that show that they were not tired. Like they were in an uproar every single match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and usually you'll see at least one or two matches where they're kind of down. You don't hear as much. Nope, not that one.
Not the UK crowd.
Hanzo, thank you for the donation. Saying when Waller mentioned Fiendy, when we're gonna get to that very shortly here. When Waller mentioned Fiendy, I swear to all heaven and puppets, come on, you beautiful man, show your face, then I'll buy you a pint.
You know, in the show, I thought it was highly possible because hands down, there were jaw drops the entire show, and I thought, you know what, they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this show. It wouldn't surprise me if Bray did show up.
Yes, some pay-per-views can really be guilty of falling into this very expected thing. You watch the first couple matches, like, yeah, I know pretty much exactly everything that's probably going to happen in this pay-per-view.
That didn't happen.
That's just the way it is. Nope, it's complete opposite and kept you on the edge of your seat the whole time. And those are few and far between. They're so much fun.
James Chadwick said, we made the American crowd look average at best.
Yes,
let's be honest. They made the American fans look like a library.
You know what? I can't be mad at that because that's actually true.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that because you know what? How can you surpass those reactions? It's like from Shayna betraying Ronda to John Cena coming out to every single moment, everyone was flipping out to everything, and it just made the show even better.
Drew coming out was insane. I saw
me and my boyfriend were looking at each other like, "Oh my god, this crowd is insane," and I love it.
Yeah, and the boos for Dominic Mysterio and Logan Paul. Amazing.
Oh, the boos were great.
So great.
Oh, and then all the things they were yelling at Roman. I've never seen.
If Roman sucks, stand up, and then Roman sits down, and he's like, "I hate this place." Oh my god! My boyfriend was...
and Liv one, of course.
And Liv one. Oh, please, see wrestling. Yep. What's up, See Wrestling? I hope you had fun.
Oh, I don't think. Do you have your voice back yet? Yeah, so that was the first thing I said when Liv won. I said, "Oh my gosh, please somebody check on See Wrestling because he's not okay."
So, in terms of WWE pay-per-views, would you say that this one is the best of the year thus far?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Is everyone feeling the same about that? Because I think they set the tone by not only having the men's match first, but giving everyone the shock, because I think everyone was thinking LA Knight was going to win.
Oh, absolutely. That was a huge shock to me.
I was so bummed. I really was rooting for him.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't believe how much they were going nuts for him.
Everyone was, he had the biggest pop.
Oh yeah, and I think, oh yeah, for sure. Like the crowd loved him, and I think that really sent a message. Obviously, Triple H acknowledged that in the press conference afterwards. Definitely sent a message that LA Knight will get there for sure. Yeah. I just think his rise has been pretty rapid, as opposed to Damian Priest has really been, putting that work in for a little bit longer. So I get it.
Yeah, I understand them not doing it yet. I could see it gonna, understand if they would have, but I totally understand it yet. But I know it'll happen for him. He'll have a championship or multiples, at some point, definitely.
Maybe in one of the big pay-per-views like SummerSlam or WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was telling her I think it'd be cool if he was the one to take the U.S. title off Austin Theory. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Listen, I'd be flipped. I would pop for that.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves a title.
Yeah, I think with LA Knight, sometimes some superstars the briefcase just doesn't fit what they are capable of and what their trajectory is, and I think that's the case with LA Knight. I wanted to see him win too. I really did, because I love him. I've loved him since the TNA days, since Impact. I've loved him since then as Eli Drake. But I will say that I think they're going to do something really, really special because I think he has something that we haven't seen probably since the Attitude Era.
Oh,
Yeah.
hands down.
For sure.
And as you guys are going back and rewatching some of those older WrestleManias, Jody, you'll get to see some of the comparisons that have been made out there, and just thinking about some of the episodes of Raw back in the 90s. You could take LA Knight right now, drop him in on that episode, and he'd fit in just fine.
And he would blend in. He would blend in beautifully.
Yeah. He'd fit in just fine.
Yeah, the last WrestleMania, the last match we were watching was that ladder match.
It was TLC 2 at WrestleMania 17. So we haven't been watching every single match because that would take entirely too long, and a lot of them are not great. But I just been going through WrestleMania by WrestleMania, showing her all the highlights, the best.
Yeah.
That one was what? Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian.
Yep.
Oh, that was tremendous.
That was one of the great.
Some crazy spots.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
I'm trying
on the floor when Edge speared Jeff Hardy. He was hanging on to
the
belt.
Yeah.
He speared him right off.
Yeah.
All those cameras flashing. Oh wow.
Yeah, that was tremendous.
I enjoyed that one.
I forget which one it was. It might have been WrestleMania 18 or 19. I forget which one it was. But when they did the Money in the Bank match and Shelton Benjamin was in the match, and he did that crazy spot.
I think 21 is the first Money in the Bank ladder
match. Okay, that might have been it then. Shelton Benjamin. Now I forget who else was in there, but he had some crazy spots for the ladder. In that match. But
I'm finally getting to see a little bit of the Attitude Era.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that in 2023?
I would really like to know how many cases of pink eye they got during the Attitude Era.
She was pretty disgusted in seeing the stink face from Rikishi.
That's just
the stink face.
that's how you, and I looked at him and said, that's how you get pink eye.
Oh, for the love of God, that was great.
I would love to see their infection control records from that period of time. And basically, I got to the point, I said, so let me get this straight. The Attitude Era is really just all about sex. So Did you show Jody the one where Stone Cold and Booker T fight in the supermarket?
No, not yet.
Oh my
God! Because she will laugh. She will laugh because it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to do with Tea Time with Abby. Is I've been having people give me all these recommendations for their favorite matches, and I think we're gonna put together like a bracket. And
I definitely want in.
Yeah, put together like a bracket. Maybe by decade, like 80s, 90s, and have this like face off between matches and get to the best match of the 80s, best match of the 90s, best match of the 2000s. So I think
that sounds like fun.
Yeah. So I'll keep you guys posted on that.
Yes. Yeah. I'll get my teacup ready. We'll get going.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I got now. You guys are.
You sent me a few matches.
I sent you a few, and because I'm a WCW.
DM me some of your favorite matches, and I'm gonna put them all together like in a spreadsheet.
We started with some of the early ones there, and one of the things she saw Roddy Piper, and she's like, so why is I've heard a lot of people talk about him. So why is Roddy Piper so great? So like I showed her a lot of why Roddy Piper was loved him.
Yeah,
he's so amazing.
I said Edge and Christian back in the Attitude Era looked like pretty deadly.
Yeah.
I'm like, now I kind of get it. And now I'm starting to see why that Undertaker's WrestleMania streak was so big.
Yes.
With all the people that he beat. And I'm like, what?
Since he showed up. from Jimmy Superfly Snuka all the way to the last person he beat was CM Punk. I remember.
Yeah.
And I was there for that. I was
Oh,
there
yeah.
at WrestleMania 29 at MetLife Stadium. That's actually how my boyfriend and I met. We met over there.
So yeah, we're working our way through it.
It sounds like it, yeah. And I think that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about the mention on Money in the Bank, because we got a big surprise in having John Cena come out and address the crowd, and he got everyone pumped up, obviously, because he's John Cena and he's awesome.
Yeah.
But Grayson Waller interrupts him, and he starts going down some of John's latest matches, and he
Latest losses.
Yeah, and he got to a particular match that is of a lot of interest to a lot of people here. He talked about him losing to the Fiend in the Firefly Funhouse match. So you talked about merch getting released.
Yep.
And then you get that mention. There have been some other things, and if folks listen to your video, there have been some other things that have been Brayish and fiendish lately.
Yep.
So, do you think the math is mathing here?
It's adding up, definitely.
Yeah, I think we are dangerously close. I'm still going to stick by my prediction that it's going to coincide with the game. I'm going to stick with that. I think it's either going to be the Raw before or the SmackDown before. So the 17th or the 15th. 14th. I'm sticking with that. I think it's going to coincide with this DLC that's coming out. But is it possible, now that we've had all these mentions of the Fiend, that the Fiend is in the DLC?
Highly possible.
I've heard rumors. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
At the very least, I think that there could be an unlockable Fiend skin in the game, in the DLC.
That would be cool. I'd love to see that.
Also, is Grayson Waller Bray's next target?
Yeah, because you mentioned him.
We were talking about that, and I think it, I feel like it's a good parallel to how LA Knight was. LA Knight was, a new guy coming up from NXT, how LA Knight was. And what a better way to have him get a big push than look what it did for LA Knight. Him having a feud with Bray makes a lot of sense to help him on his new journey. And then the fact that he mentions Fiend also, that's very interesting.
And he specifically said the Fiend, not Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So that has to mean something.
So
I don't know.
here's my question for all of you, and Chad as well. I want you to chime in, but do you think we get the Fiend back? I know a lot of people are clamoring for it, but do you think we get the Fiend back?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you think we get the Fiend back? I know that Bray had made mention of the Fiend, and it's okay. And, and Jason Baker talking about the molds and all of that stuff. Do you think we get the character of the Fiend back?
I've said this before. Jason Baker is a fantastic liar. And just,
but who else is also,
even if he's not lying, you can still make more molds.
Or you can make
who else is a liar?
So
who else is a liar? The man himself, Bray. He said that the Fiend died. Yet he could be trolling this entire time.
So yeah.
The Fiend in the box. Why are we seeing the Fiend in the box? Why are we seeing why are we having the Fiend being mentioned, and why are we having the Fiend merchandise?
Yeah, there's way too many things for it to be not a coincidence that he's not coming back. At the very least, even if he's not the Fiend full time, that doesn't mean
Yeah.
that we don't see the Fiend
I
in a
think we
match
see the
here or
Fiend,
there
yeah.
or something. Like,
Yeah,
You can have 3.
do you think we could get an evolved or a different version of the Fiend? And do you think people would be okay with that? We'll start with Chris and Jody. Do you think people would be okay with seeing a different version of the Fiend? Would that fulfill the need of the Fiend, or do you think people want to see what they're used to and then evolve the Fiend?
If they see the same things that I have seen, I think they will love it.
There you go.
I'm with her on that.
Yeah, I think I agree with all of you. I think there have been too many things said and shown and mentioned for this just to be kind of a coincidence. I don't think there's anything that's coincidence.
Yeah, I think the Fiend is going to be this special character, like like Uncle Howdy or Funhouse Bray or Muscle Man Bray. I think, yeah, I definitely think we see the Fiend again. We even thought that the Fiend that we saw at WrestleMania was different. I mean, it was different.
The mask was different. Yeah.
So, and who's to say that somebody didn't draw up some really good concept art for something new.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing I thought of too, with what Grayson Waller was doing, pointing out these big losses for Cena, it's the exact same thing that Bray did in the Firefly Funhouse match. He said, we're going to go back and look at all your biggest failures.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, so I really am starting to think Grayson Waller is Bray's next target.
Okay. Can I propose?
It is somewhere it's somebody you would not expect. LA Knight was somebody we didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, what?
Yeah.
And I think Grayson Waller would be, what?
Mm-hmm.
Can I propose a storyline to all of you after Nicole?
Okay.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Oh, well, I don't know if it's just fans doing a what if, but I've been seeing a lot of like Edge and Bray Wyatt doing a feud together. And Grayson, and what's his name again? Grayson, what was his name again?
Waller.
Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller is supposed to interview Edge
next week.
So
today.
maybe
Does it
that
today
could be.
I think it's Friday.
Friday.
So it could be. He might just pop up there.
Yeah, and Edge has already made it clear that he, is on the last legs of his career. He wanted to go out on his terms, so it's very possible he could want to have a feud with him before he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Bray Wyatt that would be great.
Here's the storyline that I wanted to pitch to you all, and you perfectly segued into that. So thank you. You made it very easy for me to set this up. So we talked about Edge, and we've fantasy booked that on this channel before. What if Bray Wyatt / The Fiend goes on a little retirement tour, and he starts that with Edge.
Ooh.
Then he retires John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Who else would you like to see him retire?
Didn't Mick Foley say he wanted an actual retirement match?
Who?
He did. Mick Foley.
So could we get Mankind versus the Fiend?
Oh.
Do it cinematic. Give him the same treatment that they gave the Undertaker with AJ. Give him a cinematic match and let it end off that way. I think that would just be phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat mentions, and this would be interesting too, especially if I know he's had a lot of questions about whether his career's done. Randy Orton.
Yeah.
How appropriate would that be after everything those two have been through for him to get
Bray Wyatt finally defeating the Because what did Randy Orton do? He went after every single legend, and he became the legend killer. Bray could finally be the one to take over that role.
Mm-hmm. I love the idea of that.
I wonder if Undertaker said to him,
Well,
and Bray,
About that, like
Yeah.
become the legend killer or something. I don't know.
that's a good point, because you think about him in the ring with the Undertaker and how iconic
Oh,
that image is, and the fact that they had a brief conversation, whatever was said. But storyline wise, I would love it if they could tie that moment back into that, if they were to go this route.
Mhm.
Again, WWE, feel free to take the idea, just give a little credit. But
I expect
you
a
know,
check in the mail.
that too. But I I would like to see. I think it'd be a good way to add some depth to the legacy of the character, but also kind of like you were saying, Jody, have him be special. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what's more special than going up against Hall of Famers and legends, and giving them retirement matches and all those things? I mean, that would be a pretty neat way to go about things.
Yeah, I like that. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, I do too. I love that idea.
someone mentioned Kane,
Yeah.
and Kane was his first target. He could finally hit that.
I thought
He
he
could
said he
finally-
was done though. He wanted. I think he said he was too he wanted to stick with politics, didn't he?
I mean, that's all entirely up to Glenn Jacobs if he wants to come back. As the
A couple appearances back, since then. You never know.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Bray would be up for that because
Oh.
Be very fitting considering that was his first ever
match.
match.
I was gonna say.
yeah, that was his first feud. His first feud was the Devil's Favorite Demon.
What if we get the Fiend versus Kane as the Fiend's last match?
Okay, you gotta go into detail on that, because
What if Bray retires the character after that? Not Bray retiring, but
kind of like coming full circle.
I get what you're saying.
Coming full
I get what
circle.
you're saying.
Coming full circle. Bray Wyatt faced, that was his first match on the main roster. What if that's the Fiend's last match?
You could even do it the same way as an Inferno match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, we
That would have
move
been
on to something bigger or more sinister, or
either have Bray emerge from fire, or have something, like you said, something darker emerge. That would be okay. See, now I'm on board for that.
or even not even the Fiend. I mean, it could be Cult Leader Bray's last match.
Cult Leader Bray, because he did say he didn't want to do it because it's difficult to do that role without Brody, which is understandable. It's understandable.
And Cult Leader Bray in that match, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah. So
was.
what if that's the Cult Leader Bray's last match?
That would be.
That would be different. That would
be full circle. He said, "I go where the circle takes me."
Yeah.
That would be a complete circle. Especially that was his first opponent when he showed up in WWE.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why this is so fun, because we throw out these theories and we give our opinions on them. It's a lot of fun to do this. So I'm gonna ask this, and then we'll start to wind down a little bit. But at this point, since we've gotten so much smoke, we'll say, when do we see the fire? When do we see Bray Wyatt return? Do you think that, I know you said you think it'll be kind of timed up with the game, so you're sticking with that. You're thinking within the next week and a half, 2 weeks. Okay.
I said that after that, or either before or after Money in the Bank, that I think at the very latest, maybe they could even have him return at SummerSlam. But I definitely think by SummerSlam, 100% we see him.
Yeah. That's my answer too.
That's your answer.
Yep.
How freaking cool would it be, especially with this retro theme that they're doing with SummerSlam in Detroit this year? How freaking cool would it be if we get some type of crazy contraption that kind of comes up from the floor, and that's his return.
Mm. I would dig that.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yep,
Like
you
he comes
too.
up from another ring.
I mean, obviously, I want him back yesterday, but
Or, weren't they back during the 2021 that we were supposed to go to and didn't get to? Wasn't he supposed to do some kind of an entrance with like a monster truck or something? Wasn't he talking about?
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 2020 that got getting canceled.
It's like
What
a
if
monster
he-
truck
like
themed,
that?
I think.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he asked on Twitter if he.
It is the
anybody
Motor
can come
City after all.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
And then you look at the graphics; everything is like car themed on Summer here.
Well, Fastlane's gonna be the same way,
Mhm.
so it could be Fastlane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fastlane.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Mhm.
I love the logo of SummerSlam
Oh,
this
yeah,
year.
it's
Like
awesome.
I love
Yes.
it. It's got this. It's kind of
It's
got
awesome.
this retro feel to it,
Yeah.
but it feels very Detroit. And this is going to be really weird tying this in. But I just rewatched the movie like a week ago, so I apologize. I'm old. I'm sorry, but it makes me think a little bit about RoboCop.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that. RoboCop is awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool movie.
I love
Like,
RoboCop.
Yeah, it made me think a little bit about that. I don't know why, but yeah, it's weird. Anyway, so I guess before I get to us wrapping up a little bit, do you think that this weekend, and everything we've gotten over the last week or so is finally going to shut some of these people up with saying that he's not coming back?
Yeah.
Yes. Me and Jody already had the answer.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Because they constantly
haters are always gonna hate. They're always gonna find something to complain.
always. Unfortunately, these wrestlers are gonna have criticism. They're gonna have critics, unfortunately. But they know who their true fans are, and that's all that matters, you know. Those that constantly say, "Oh, he's not coming back," you know, they just like to talk out of their ass. They do that for clout, and they don't really, honestly, they don't matter. They don't matter.
Yep.
So, and it's okay.
Very well.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think within the next month and 2 days, we see him.
Oh yeah, for sure. It just makes their life miserable. Like I can't imagine holding on to that much hate. Like it's just poison.
Exactly.
I'd much rather be happy and content.
Yeah, and if he's not
Right.
your cup of tea, that's cool.
That's fine.
There's nothing wrong if you're not a fan of Bray Wyatt. It's perfectly fine. When listen, you have your favorites, like we got ours.
Absolutely.
Yep. Just let people.
We respect your opinion.
just leave people. Just leave each other alone.
Yeah, especially that they enjoy it. They actually enjoy it. You know.
If you can't be nice, just
Don't say anything at all.
yeah, just have a nice shut up sandwich.
Yeah.
Just enjoy that. So Jody, I know that you discovered something a little earlier. Are you going to put that out in your video, or did you want to briefly mention it here?
No, I was gonna do a little video for it, and then I changed my mind because I knew we were coming on here, and then going out to see fireworks after this. But yeah, can we talk about Roman's belt?
Yeah, I saw your post about the title. I saw it.
You noticed it first, didn't you? On was it on SmackDown
Yeah,
or like
the SmackDown before Money in the Bank?
that? Look, he was like that. Those don't look like Bray side.
Hey,
Hey!
Teddy!
Yeah,
How
he was
are
like,
you?
don't look like Roman side plates. Roman side plates are black.
Yeah,
Those are red.
I went and did some digging, and I went all the way back to WrestleMania last year when Roman won that belt off of Brock Lesnar, of course. Obviously, they had the Brock side plates on them when he won them. Every Roman appearance since then, over a year ago, it's been Roman Reigns side plates on that belt until the SmackDown before Money in the Bank. All of a sudden, they're Brock side plates, and at Money in the Bank too.
And at Money in the Bank too.
That
and
to me, that makes
it's really hard to find a good picture of it. Like I managed to get one, but he's
Paul is really
Paul's
like
doing
covering it up,
yeah.
and all the ones I went back and watched, I had no problem seeing it. They were all out in the open, easy to see.
If you go back and watch Paul Heyman's body language during SmackDown and Money in the Bank, he at one point even moves his red tie.
You can
tell. And then the picture that he posted today where he had all three belts, the WWE Championship is the lower one on his shoulder. He has a belt on top of that. So it's covering the side plates. Like he's being really, really careful.
It just, I've seen some people say things like, it could have been a mistake or whatever. And I just don't see WWE making a mistake like that. It seems to me that was done.
Yeah, C Wrestling said the talk in London was WWE forgot the WWE Championship title. But why would the replica have Brock Lesnar's plates on it?
Yeah,
and you're trying to tell me
change
that
it out and put Roman's side plates
there's
on
a WWE shop at Money in the Bank. You can't just go get him. Like that's a pretty big error. Like it would have made more sense just to not take those two belts out there. Just take the one that he has. To me, that's just a really big. I don't feel like WWE makes mistakes like that twice in a row. Personally.
So,
someone pointed it out too.
Think about it this way: if Paul Heyman would have come out on SmackDown and Money in the Bank, and you noticed that the Universal Championship now had Bray plates on it, would you say, oh, that doesn't mean anything? Or would you be flipping out?
Yeah, look at this. Here's a clearer picture.
Oh yeah, they definitely have Brock's plates on it. I'm just curious as to why.
Yeah.
Unless they don't have, I don't know why they don't. They wouldn't have side plates of Roman.
Why they wouldn't have Roman side plates?
I can't imagine. We see backstage segments all the time with just boxes and carts of stuff. Like you can't tell me that they don't have extra side plates just sitting around back there,
or an extra WWE Championship.
You're right.
Like,
question.
For me, there's not a single scenario that they would mess that up twice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something, it could be nothing, but to me, it's very, very weird at the least.
Yeah.
Tazzy has a question.
Could it be possible? And I don't know. It probably C Wrestling will know this. Do they have like a fan fest out there or whatever? They probably had that in the display. They're like, hey, we got to use that. Try not to show the nameplate, the plates or anything like that, and just use that since we forgot the title. That could be possible too.
But they had the shop and didn't have extra side plates.
The shop is very cheap belts. They're not actually real belts though.
It just seems like too big a mistake for them to make. It just doesn't seem like
for me, if I was obviously I'm not running WWE, like. I think people, especially Bray fans, are going to notice enough that it would make more sense to me to just not take those two belts out there and just take the new one.
And it's not even it's only that thing. We were talking about too. Even going back to some of the recent matches with Roman and Brock, like Paul Heyman acted really funny when talking about Brock. It seemed like there was he still has something there with him.
We never got an answer as to why Brock attacked Cody. Or Brock attacked Cody because him and Heyman made a deal.
It wouldn't surprise me one single bit for Heyman to turn on Roman, especially since the bloodline is falling apart, and go back to Brock Lesnar. Why not?
Yeah. He goes back to Brock. Brock beats Roman for the belts. Cody beats Brock.
If this is all storyline, I'm going to throw this out there. It would not surprise me in the least bit if Paul Heyman played Roman the entire time.
Yeah,
Yep.
I said that earlier
I
when we were talking
personally
about this.
think
Like,
so.
what if this whole time with Roman was just was him playing him?
Playing him the whole time, getting him, showing him that he can't do anything on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Now
ladies
that
and
he
gentlemen,
now that he got pinned, we don't know what might happen. We don't know what Solo's going to do, if he's going to still stay with Roman, or what Paul's going to do, or I don't know. But we still like what Jodie said. We don't even know why Brock attacked Cody, which still
and we were talking about that
get
too. Like, how many? Generally we've seen that a lot over the years when somebody just attacks somebody for no reason, and almost always, maybe not right that time, but maybe the following week on Raw or SmackDown, almost always they will come out and say why they attacked them, give us a reason. But we didn't get that this time.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be nothing, but as a Bray fan, I'm good. I noticed and thought it was interesting.
See, wrestling just answered the question.
which he just took the words right out of my mouth. I don't think Brock can face Roman while he's a champion anyway.
That's why
the
he can't face Roman. He can't do it. That's why he's attacking Cody. You're right, See Wrestling. Thanks for answering my question.
But I still think Paul Heyman is a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I still think there's a possibility this could be intentional.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting if that is the case. It's gonna be very interesting on what happens.
It's not like we've never seen WWE hide something in plain sight before.
Yeah, for sure.
That's very.
What?
I just like the theory. I just like to come on and just theorize about stuff. It's like, but why did this happen? It's like,
we could be totally wrong, but it's still fun to talk about and think that maybe this could be,
Tell you this though, it's very interesting, and it makes you think, and you start to look at some of the little nuggets of information out there, and it starts to trail that way. So just
and that's the thing I discovered, and over the years with being such a big Bray Wyatt fan is I do that about everything now, and sometimes nothing comes of it, but sometimes it does. So,
yep,
it's fun to analyze anyway.
That's the fun of it, is to break everything down, to pull everything apart, and then try to fit it back together into a story. I mean, that's what makes this kind of stuff fun. So, we have a little bit of artwork, not very much, but just a few,
not a ton.
A few things here. But we'll start with this. That's
pretty awesome, right?
That's
so
nice.
This person on Twitter, I came across this on Twitter. I got an Uncle Howdy tattoo, and I think that's bad ass.
It's very different.
That's awesome. I like that.
Oh yeah, this is another little Easter egg too. They're coming out there's a new upcoming ringside collectible figure for Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
He's got the lantern. We're gonna have to get that one.
The lantern. It's got different design pants. I'm trying to see a clip of his pants.
Yeah, I can't tell what's on his pants.
I can't tell, but it looks pretty cool to me.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of Braun Strowman's pants.
It does remind me of Braun.
Yeah, that's cool.
A good old earthquake and typhoon there too.
There you go.
Nice.
For disasters.
Nice. Party sketch. We pretty much have him on every week. Again, that tattoo work must have taken forever, and I love the detail of the praying hands on his shirt, because unless the light catches it right, you don't see that.
Yep. Oh, I love this one.
Nice.
Another Brittany K piece. She decided she wanted to draw Uncle Howdy in this black mask. So that's the image from the 2K23
That's cool.
Game, which is awesome. Again, I love that underwater effect.
Awesome artwork as always, and that's a freaking awesome tattoo. speaking of the figures, my son for his birthday wanted the Burnt Fiend figure.
Oh,
So he got it, and he loves it. And it was so funny because he pulled it out of the packaging, which that tells you he's a kid and not a collector like yours truly.
Yeah.
Pulls it out of the package, and his sister, she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so scary!" And she was just playing. She was playing around, but she pretended to be scared, and it was kind of cute. So,
oh,
but
Well,
yeah,
she is kind of cute.
well, yeah, she's. I'm a little biased, but she is adorable. So, well,
She is very sassy.
yeah, that girl has some sass. She's 5 going on 19 right now.
Yeah.
Yep, 5 going on 19. So this was a lot of fun. We're gonna give some final thoughts here. We'll start with Nicole and then go Tazzy and then Jodie and Chris.
Well, like I always say, guys, it's just a matter of time. It could happen anytime. Now that he was mentioned at Money in the Bank, he might appear he could appear tonight, he could appear NXT, he could appear anytime. So
Next month.
yeah. And the latest you might see him is next month, SummerSlam, because that's what they're saying he's going to return. But I have a feeling we might see signs much sooner before SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be one hell of a roller coaster for us Fireflies. So
Yeah.
get ready.
A lot of fun. Tazzy.
Whew, where do I start?
What did you think of Money in the Bank? First of all,
you know what? It was really, really good. One thing, the UK made that pay-per-view again, like they do it every time. But you for to do that for have those type of matches in the UK is brilliant, like a Money in the Bank or something like that, because that's going to get their teeth into the type of matches. So the match was great, everything. And I'll be honest with you, and I swear I'm not going to do it. I hope this don't come across wrong. There's one person, YouTuber that we don't like to talk about, saying it was Triple H is not it's not running the show. I say you're full of. I just have to bring
that was. I felt like that was 100% Triple H show.
The 100 Triple H show. So
100%.
F that and all that. I'm not going to cuss. I'll be good. But anyway, great show. I'm looking forward to tonight. Tonight should be huge, which means don't forget to join the party tonight. I had to do it. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Join us for that. Hey guys, this is the first time we actually monetized for a Monday Night Raw. So come join us for that and just have a fun time. We're gonna have a great time. I am so looking forward to when the Fiend turns. I have a feeling it's gonna be the Fiend. I really have a feeling. I think it's more of the pressure of him bringing that back than anything. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everything that's coming up really, really soon. So let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Jodie and Chris. Thank you, Tazzy.
Yeah, I think we're, like I said earlier, we are dangerously close.
And it makes so much sense. I mean, Bray debuted at SummerSlam initially. The Fiend debuted at SummerSlam. That's, maybe we see a different, another different variation of Bray come back here. Or they're a different Fiend, darker Fiend, or something entirely different. This is Bray we're talking about. Who knows what we're going to see?
Yeah, looking forward to Raw.
But it makes a lot of sense for him to come back / maybe even bring something new to SummerSlam because he's done it twice before.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, we're going out to see some fireworks tonight, so we'll watch Raw when we get back. But we'll keep an eye on it while we're out. But I hope that everybody has an amazing holiday.
Yes, enjoy it.
Happy birthday to the United States. Happy Treason Day. I had to. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to him just being back, and yeah, keep an eye out for Tea Time with Abby. We're going to be doing some more of those. Looking forward to it, and I might be writing some, so keep an eye on that.
Whoa, the buzzers!
Been waiting to use that.
I might be gaining some journalism skills a little bit.
There you go.
Some freelance writing.
There you go.
So keep an eye out for that.
A lot of fun and exciting things going on, and this episode is coming to an end, unfortunately. But thank all of you for joining us this
Until
evening.
next time.
Almost.
Until next time.
Yeah, until next time, go join Tazzy. Yeah, go join Tazzy. You never know, something may happen tonight. I'm not saying it is, but you never know.
Possible.
I always say it. You can
Raw
pop
after
up anytime.
paper.
Like a surprise.
I think we may, maybe we get a tease tonight.
Yeah. I'm fine with a tease.
I can
Yeah.
totally see
Anything.
teases leading up to SummerSlam
Yep.
return.
All I'm gonna say, 3 hours and only one day announced.
Yeah, they've only announced one.
Keep your cameras ready. Never know if there could be a QR code.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will be I'm good for Monday next week. I am working on potentially having some fun people join us. Kyle Scarborough is going to be joining us again at some point.
Nice.
Wrestling Wizard might be joining us at some point. So yeah, working on getting some fun people. Obviously Caleb will be on here at some point.
And maybe Bray will join one day.
Look, he's a man of his word, and he did say that at one point that he would come on here, but that was obviously during an off period, and now there's some hoops that we have to jump through before we can get him on here. But
Yeah, just several thousand hoops. I feel like Sonic at this point.
confidence that he will keep his word, and at some point we will get him on here.
Yep.
Like I feel like Sonic. I'm jumping at so many hoops. But all right, folks. Yeah, I know, right? Well, thank all of you for joining us this evening. We really appreciate it. Thank you as always for the conversation and the theories. If you don't mind, drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you. And go hang out with Tazzy for Raw. Maybe a very interesting show tonight. Just
fireworks, or we might pop in there at the end.
Yeah.
Some fireworks at the show.
That's right. Might be some fireworks there too.
Yeah, for sure.
Know. All right, folks. We'll take care. We'll see you next time.
So what do you say? You want to see my secret?